Hey guys, this is Brandy Fox with Be the Entrepreneur Consultant Agency, and I am super excited to roll it back around for another month of Talk It Out, our solution based virtual chat to support minority entrepreneurs. So, if you are new to Talk It Out, it is basically where we come together, where me and another special guest come together and we talk about specific issues that are plaguing the African American community, specifically the business community. So, today is all about running a hobby versus running a business. So, as a startup consultant, I get a lot of people that are hobbyist. And what a hobbyist is somebody who has a hobby and they're able to kind of do it efficiently enough to make a business. The only issue with that is that sometimes people confuse having a hobby with running a business and they find themselves getting frustrated. And what I like to tell people is you cannot combine the two. Having a hobby that makes money and running a business are two separate entities that you would be doing. And what a lot of people get confused at is they try to run a hobby, well, do a hobby like a business, then they get upset when they're not getting that business exposure or they're not getting the business money that they want. But they're not understanding that they are running a hobby, not a business. And it's two different things. And I'm super excited to get more into details about how to really transition your hobby into a business if it's something that you want to do, but also being comfortable with yourself if the hobby is just what you want to do. Like I know for me, being a startup entrepreneur, I get super excited. If somebody tell me, like I had a friend on Facebook and she just started knitting and she knitted something real cute and I'm ready to turn somebody into an entrepreneur. I was like, hey, you want to turn that into a business? Like I was marketing to her like a salesperson. And she was like, well, I don't know. I just like doing it for fun. And I was like, when I first started in consulting, I used to always be like, no, you should make that a business. You should make money. But then I had to understand that everything that people do doesn't always have to be monetary. Sometimes it can be done out of the passion. So for her, she likes to knit for passion. She likes to knit as a pastime. So she just happens to make a little bit of money doing it, and she's comfortable with that. So it's okay to be comfortable with doing your hobby. People get it mixed up. They feel like because we're in this entrepreneur spirit that everything has to be a business or you have to be an entrepreneur. That is not the case. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about running a hobby versus a business and how to transition into those things. Also, if you are not following us, please make sure you follow our Facebook, Instagram at b.the-entrepreneur. My special guest today is Miss Tanita Moore. I'm super excited to have her on. We met a while ago, randomly, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but she was one of those random connections and we just happened to reconnect like latter of last year. And I'm excited to have her on. She is a mover and shaker in the Rock Hill area. And she's just really good at business networking, connecting, and just really all things Black people entrepreneurship, which is something that I'm all about. So it was only organic and natural that I have her on there to discuss this topic because she also deals and collaborates with a lot of startup entrepreneurs. And as we connect on a regular, we realized that we were hearing the same issues and dealing with the same things from startup entrepreneurs. So I wanted to have her on tonight to talk a little bit more and engage a little bit more about this topic. So for you guys that are just joining us, some of the topics that we're going to be discussing today is the difference between a hobby and a business, understanding your role as a hobbyist or as an entrepreneur, and tips on how to transition your hobby into a real business. A little bit more about Be the Entrepreneur Consulting Agency. We are a startup business consulting agency where we specialize in helping new and aspiring entrepreneurs start their business and grow their business efficiently and affordably. We do this by transitioning business ideas into real businesses. So if you are an entrepreneur, you've been struggling, you don't know, you want to start a business, but you don't know how, or if you have certain business branding needs, including websites, landing pages, logos, business plan. I consider myself definitely a business plan guru. That is my specialty. Investor ready business plans and helping businesses get investors, investments, and money for their businesses. So if you need any of those services, if you have startup business questions, or if you're confused on where to start, I do really well at breaking down that process into action-based steps that'll get you results and also transition your idea into a profit-making business. What you can expect from today's show is a free Be the Entrepreneur consultation giveaway at the end of the show. Also, organic solution based discussions. Unlike a lot of talk shows, entrepreneur shows that you may hear online, our goal is not just to talk about a topic, but to actually give solutions to the topic. And the solutions that we give are solutions that you can adequately do with your business right now. So you don't have to wait, you don't have to plan. Everything we talk about now, if it pertains to you, if it pertains to somebody that you know, I ask that you hit that share button and share this live on your page. We want to make sure that we are reaching as many startup entrepreneurs as possible because there's a big gap. We know that between minority entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurs. And my goal is to release all those business secrets. Anything that can help us make money, get money, and sustain as an African-American business culture, that is what I'm all about. That's my passion. That's my love, is to uplift my people. Lastly, at the end, we will have a Q&A live session. So we have the ability to see your comments. So if you have specific questions, if you have comments, do not hesitate to drop them in our chat box. We want to hear from you. This is not just a talking session. We want this to be organic conversation. We want you to ask the questions that you have, and we're going to do our best to answer those for you. So make sure you stay engaged. And if you have not already, please share this live on your page. It take a quick 1 second, click on that share button. We want to get this exposure out there to as many entrepreneurs as possible. So without further ado, I am super excited to welcome my homegirl, Tanita Moore, onto the show. Hey, girl.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Girl, tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Long. Girl.
Our days start at like 4 a.m.
Right. We right there. Because we be talking
at 4 a.m.
Look, we be having whole full-blown woke-up conversations at 6
Listen.
a.m. You be like, yeah, I'm up. I'm like, baby, she the only one I know that's up and ready to converse at 6 a.m.
Right. And we wrap it up right at 7 to get the kids to school.
Baby, we got to get them kids up. We got to get them kids up and out the door. And I love it. I love the fact, and that's one of the things I actually love about you, is that I feel like we have so much in common. Like, we're moms, we're entrepreneurs, we're connectors, and I feel like, you're one of the people that kind of push me when I'm doing things. The way you connect, the way you show love, the way you just give back to your community are all things that I agree with and I love. So I'm excited to have you on here today.
And speaking of how we met, you were we didn't know each other from a can of paint. And so I think I had the first annual fall festival here in Rock Hill in 2016. And you came up, you just kind of like, hey, what is this about? And I was like, it's a community event, but it's for entrepreneurs to come out and market themselves and their businesses or hobbies without selling. Because there was a big thing where people were not actually, they were not, how can I say this? They didn't know how to market themselves. Everything was about sell, make the money. But it's about introducing the community to your business. So you came out and you brought the Pamper bus.
Yeah, baby. I had literally just got it in September. I had literally just got it.
And kitted out into a haunted house for the kids. Yep. And so I will forever be grateful for that. It was just an organic connection. We never knew each other. It was something that we just found. We found each other on Facebook, and we connected ever since. And I'm just grateful for the connection.
Me too. Same here, girl. Definitely same here. So Tanita, of course, as you know, I ask every entrepreneur for their business quote, their motto. And the motto that you gave us is, it's all about the business, then the Benjamins. Tell the audience a little bit more about why you chose that.
Well, I was listening to a song one day where, it's all about the Benjamins. And I'm like,
come on.
That's my jam. But you know what? There's a flaw here. Because as a business person, as someone as an entrepreneur, It's all about the business first. If you go into your business thinking about the Benjamins, you will fail. There's so much other things to set up. Having your business set up correctly, making sure all of your ducks are in a row, so that way that money's gonna come if your business is set up properly. So it's just a reminder, reminding people that it's all about the business, then the Benjamins. Because if you have poor customer service, you're definitely not going to have the Benjamins. As a matter of fact, you won't even have any customers.
You won't have nothing, baby.
You have
No
nothing.
traction, no nothing.
If you don't market yourself, you can't get any money. So it's so many other components that come before the Benjamins. Those Benjamins gonna come.
They will. And I love that you said that, because I think that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs miss out on. And that's literally how Be the Entrepreneur thrives, because I see so many entrepreneurs. And for example, if you can cook really good, instead of trying to figure out how to make the best catering business or the best private chef businesses, I see cooks coming out and they just start cooking plates. Hey, I'm
Right.
selling plates. But you selling plates, but you taking Cash App, you taking Venmo. You don't have a back end system.
Right.
You don't have an organization system. So now you got all these people ordering plates. I know chefs that was writing it down on paper, doing all kind of crazy stuff to maintain. And then you got to lose customers mad. You got to really learn from trial and error instead of learning how to set up your business the right way. And literally, guys, I have people who start their business and are fully ready to run in 30 to 60 days. It does not take that long if you know the
Mm-hmm.
steps.
And having a team.
Baby.
Listen, the one thing that I hate seeing on Facebook, I loathe seeing this on Facebook, is when people talk about moving in silence. Well, if you're moving in silence and it's only a team of you, then your business will forever be silent. You need a team. You can't do it all. If you need to outsource, you're gonna have to find that person to do them flyers. If you need someone to do a business plan, you're gonna have to outsource and invest to do something, to have someone do that. It moving in silence. No, you don't have to. You can move strategically.
Yep.
But never move in silence, because when you move in silence, you always miss out.
I totally agree. I agree. And I think that's kind of like a catch-22 type statement, because I definitely understand the angle that you're coming from, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the angle that I see some people coming from is the support factor. Moving
Right.
in silence, because sometimes when you speak things out too early, that's when the devil uses that as an opportunity to kind of sabotage what you got, or you get that bad energy in there. So it goes
Right.
back to what you said, though. Having that right team around you is one of the foundational principles of starting a business. These doesn't have to be partners, but these are literally people. These are your strengths to your weaknesses. That's what that is. So for me, I hate numbers in accounting. Like when I say I hated the first
Girl.
month before I hired my account, I hated it. I was like, I don't want to look at this. I don't want to do this. So the first thing, well, after I hired my first assistant, right after I hired her, just because I needed a second person to duplicate myself. But after hiring my first assistant, within 30 to 60 days, within that 2-month time period, I had me an accountant, because I was like, I cannot do this. So investing in things that'll help your business grow is what's important. And don't waste money on things that you don't need.
Oh
Don't
my
get
gosh,
caught up
yes.
in they get caught up, Ty. They get caught up, girl.
Yes, yes.
Wasted.
Listen, Facebook make everything look glamorous, don't it?
Because if I see one more drop shipping post, I'm going to pass out. Everybody can't drop. Girl, I see drop shipping. It stressed me out. It's like Fashion Nova ads when they first came out.
Oh my God.
Everybody can't be a drop shipping. Drop shipping is not for everybody, girl.
It's not. And we tend to, as people, we tend to go off fads. We tend to go off of trends, but that trend might not be for you. And that's why you have to take that time to do the research. You can't just jump out there and boom, LLC. And you're like, what? But that's a whole nother conversation.
Girl, we done had that. We started talking about that LLC thing.
Yes.
This conversation gonna transition.
Yes.
So what I am going to do is, number one, if you are not, please follow Tanetta on Instagram at Kirby_nerdy_girl. Y'all, she is the plug. Not only does she own her own gaming and technology business, tell us a little bit more about that and what you do with that, because you definitely are in that tech space.
Okay, so I actually started out in college as a tester, but that was not by accident because at first it was my hobby. Because I went to A&T and there was all these cute boys playing Call of
I'm gonna let
Duty.
you have A&T, even though it's brand price.
Oh, that's the one thing we differ on, but we'll
That's
let that
it. That's
slide.
it. But we
So
gonna
we had a student. You know how the student union is. You go to the student union, and okay, you see all the boys. They tan madden up. Oh, okay. So I'm like, okay, this can't be too hard. So they had Call of Duty going around. Grab me a joystick. Okay,
all
we
right,
gonna we gonna try this. Okay, so I'm looking real cute, playing and beating some tail. Like,
baby.
okay,
Who wasn't taking that Madden money, baby? Back in baby, who wasn't taking that
listen,
Madden money? And if
listen,
you a girl and you can't play, I'm like, yeah, I want to play.
right.
$25. Run me that, baby.
But
This is
I
my
went to
plug
school.
money for Friday.
Actually, before I went to A&T, I went to Lander on a full computer science scholarship, and I was just like, I got on A&T's campus, got a little HBCU life in me, and was like, you
Thank
know
you.
what? Yeah, it's time to transfer. But I came across a lot of people in the gaming industry, the gaming world, and as I had kids, my kids were into gaming, and I'm like, okay. So we started getting into gaming, Comic Cons, anime. I mean, we went full blown out. Yes, sister dressed up a couple times. I was, I was Poison Ivy a couple times. I rocked it. Yes, I
Oh, come
did.
on, baby.
Yes, I did. So, I did a little black cosplay. So, so that's where that whole curvy nerdy girl comes in at too. Because I mean, I love technology. And when I moved back home in 2016, the one thing, level one got started in 2018. But when I moved back in 2016, about 2017 ish, my mentor at the time, um, she was like, she called me at 2 in the morning. For some reason, I don't know why we were talking in the closet. I think we were talking in the closet because she was I was cleaning out my closet for one. She was trying to not wake up her husband. And she was like, hey, can you tell me about your gaming business? And I was like, well, I don't have a gaming business, but this is what I like to do. And so she was like, listen, Rock Hill has a tech program that we're getting ready to start. I want you to come and meet the director, and I want you to tell him your idea. And I'm like, say word? At 2 in the morning. So, but the meeting was literally, I had a day and a half to prep for that meeting. So when
Come
I
on,
got
baby.
into the meeting, I told him everything, and the first thing he said was, where have you been? I was like, I'm originally from Rock Hill. This is what I want to do. And I became the first African American female technology company in Rock Hill.
Yes, babe.
Yep. So I was like, okay. I was like, so what does that mean? So I had to define what does that mean. I literally had to get a logo in 2 days. Now, mind you, I am a graphic designer, and we'll talk about that later because that's not even a business anymore for me. That's a hobby. Um, but I had to come up with all of everything, and I literally had to define where my business was. I literally had to go back and start from scratch and make sure that this was a legitimate business that I can move forward with and not a hobby. Because gaming can be a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a very lucrative billion-dollar business, which African Americans make up probably about 1%, just like the tech industry, but we're breaking through. And so it's made some great strides. And so, from that, I, built my small studio, and COVID changed a lot. I had the ability to have 6,000 square feet, had investors, everything before COVID. Boom, COVID hit. I had to revamp my entire plan. I had to revamp everything because the investors dropped out. Everybody was uncertain about COVID. It was like I had to start from scratch. And so you've been in my little studio, my little home away from home.
Yeah.
I have found that. And, you know, I've been rebuilding ever since. And so far, I've been extremely successful with the things that I have done and what I'm going to continue to do.
I love it. I love it. And what I love is how your story, and that's why I made it perfect for you to be on the show today, because your story into your business was a hobby. So that is
Yes.
perfect. It was perfect. So, what I want to talk about first is let's discuss the difference between a hobby and a business. How would you define the difference between the two?
So a hobby is something that you can produce with a low or minimum amount of resources, something that's not, I'll say, as consistent. You do it when you feel like doing it. It's a something that you act on as emotion. So when you feel like you want, like graphic design, when I feel like, oh, I got that creative bug in me, mind you, I got all the training in the world with graphic web design, all of that. Work with some great brand names, even some Fortune 500 companies. I'm like, okay, I'm creating business cards. I'm creating this. And then I'm realizing that, okay, this is not what I want to do for as a business because I don't want to be consistent. It's consistency is one.
B, consistency is key.
Yes. So if it's something that I can't do consistently, or if I can't see myself doing, you have to evaluate yourself. It's not something that if it becomes not fun, because I mean, let's be honest, your business is not all fun and games. It's a
Baby,
business.
that's a fact.
Your hobby is something that you do for fun. In one of my brainstorming sessions, we had a lady who she was in the cottage industry, and she got burnt out because it just was not fun anymore. And she realized that, I just want this as a hobby. I don't want this as a business. And that's okay. But figuring that out and also not spending the extra, money into actually incorporating it, because you can still have a business as a sole proprietor.
Mm-hmm.
It does not have to be an LLC because you're as a hobbyist. In the state of South Carolina, they actually have a hobby license. You pay $20. Like if you want to be a vendor, instead of getting a retail license, you can pay $20 to certify your hobby.
That's cute. They ain't got that in
Yes.
Charlotte. You either a business or you ain't. Look, it ain't no in between.
Well, there are avenues here, and I think that people don't understand the different avenues. They do. It's called a hobbyist. You can be a hobby for $20, and that $20 basically tells the state that you are a hobby, and you can still vend at some of these different events. So whether like Rock Hill does not have a specific vendor license, but if you show that you have a business license, well, you can still get a business license as a hobbyist. It's just be a home based. And then you go and pay the state $20 for, it's like $20 or $25 now. And you can actually become a certified hobby.
I love that.
Until you determine that you want to transition into a business. Now, business is something that you're going to constantly maintain. First of all, let's talk about before you even determine if it's going to be a business. You got to have a plan.
A business plan.
Yes, which you are so great at.
Thank you.
If you do not have a plan, you will fail every single time. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. That plan has to have a budget. You have to determine, how can I operate full time? How can I operate half the time? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to get 100 orders every day. What can you do to make a profit and not be full time and still continue to thrive? I know there are some IRS implications when it comes down to hobbies versus being a business. But, if you have a hobby, you do not have to have an LLC to be a hobby. And technically, you don't have to have an LLC to be a business, because starting out, you can be a sole proprietor, which is a type of business until you grow. It's called growth. And that can also be in your plan on how you're going to grow from a sole proprietor to a LLC to a S corp, etc.
And there's nothing wrong with that transition. People are so quick. People want to hop out. They like, I got a business idea. I see it all the time. I got a business idea. I want to be a business owner. I want to do it. I want to do this. And they want to hop straight out. And then they get this LLC. You responsible. Well, in North Carolina, I'm not sure about South Carolina, but North Carolina, you paying $125 off the rip. You don't even know what your business is. Like, I get people that got LLCs and can't even tell me their scope of work, their business description, their business model, the basics. How are you going to make money? But you already didn't spend $125. And that goes back to what we talked about earlier about wasting money. You wasted $125 where if you would have used that adequately, that could have been a logo and 50% of your landing page. You know what I'm saying? To actually make money. So I love how you said it's a process. It's okay. Start with that hobby certification for a year. See how you like it. Because it might sound good and then you hop into it and you be like, nah, you know what? Man, like I know for me, when I started my mobile massage business, I was like, you know what? I want to do body scrubs. I said, it'll go good with it. It's a product I can sell when I go to people's houses. And that's when I realized quickly that product management is not for me. I don't like inventory. I don't like, because when you do that kind of stuff, you got to break it down. How many products do I need to make this amount? How much does each one cost me? I don't want to do all that. So I did it for a little bit and it went well. I went through the holidays right after Christmas ended and I sold my little last bit of packs. We wrapped that right on up because I realized that this is not something I want to maintain. I'm getting all these orders in. I'm like, people be like, I want orders. I'm like, please stop ordering. Look.
Right.
No more orders.
And also with a hobby, you'll know that your hobby is ready to be a business. Is number one, if you're spending and making a decent amount of profit. That's number one, consistently. That you are not floating your prices. Remember, your price is your price.
Your price is your price, baby. And if you want to run a special because you want to run a special.
Right. And then also too, your hobby is a business when you would rather do your hobby than your regular 9-to-5. If you want to do this hobby more than you want to do your 9-to-5, then it's time to start transitioning that hobby into a business. And it's okay to have that progression. That just makes it easier for you to transition instead of feeling overwhelmed or feeling burnt out.
Because burnout is real. Entrepreneurship burnout is real.
Yes, it is.
It's serious and it's real, and it'll almost have you fully questioning being an entrepreneur. Even if you're doing something that you love, even if you're doing something that you're making money, people think if you have those things in place that all it takes. No, it's all about that lifestyle balance when you have your hobby and your business. So that's why when you transition, or if you do have a hobby, you want to think about the full scale of what you're going to transition to when you transition into a business. Are you ready to put in that time? Are you ready to work on your business even when you don't feel like it? Because it's been mornings where my alarm then went off, or most of the time I wake up without my alarm, but I got my alarm set for that backup just in case. But 5 a.m., I just don't feel like getting up. But I know my day is going to be crazy once it starts. And I know once I get my kids from school, it's a wrap. So it's like, if I don't get up now and do this work, it won't get done. If I only had a hobby, baby, I'll roll right back on over.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, it's a labor of love. And I tell people, transition slowly, especially by having a plan, because what you do not want is to hate your hobby. If you find out that, I'm not ready to break this into a business, you don't want to hate your hobby. I'm telling you, I loathe graphic design. I do. Oh my God. I loathe graphic design, web design, logos, all of that. Listen, I will pay somebody in a minute. Here you go. Let me pay you in a minute to do what I don't want to do. Because I turned my hobby into a business, and then I had to backtrack because I realized, number one, demand was extremely high. Two, I wasn't able to balance at the time because my kids were smaller. I wasn't able to balance the orders with the time, so I was late. I was not getting any things done on time. I was not able to provide good customer service because I was tired. Mama was tired. I was tired. I was, and I was like, you know what? I really love doing this, but now I can't stand it.
And it get like that. And then that lets you know, that's another thing that lets you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is not something that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun. If you want to design something, okay, but don't hit me up and be like, oh, Ty girl, can I get a flyer? Because one day it might be a strong no.
Oh no, every day is a strong no.
Oh, every day. Okay.
Every day
Every
is a
day is a
strong
strong no.
it's a very strong no. I would like, but you know what? I have people that I can refer you to, and I love referring businesses. Thank y'all for doing what you
You
do,
do.
because I'll
You
be
are
like,
a
boom,
referrer.
let me go ahead and refer all of you because sis is not doing it.
And I love that. That's one of the things I love about you too is being an entrepreneur as well is knowing your role as an
Woo.
entrepreneur and staying in your lane. Like, I know what I'm good at. I focus on startup businesses. So my goal is to work with people, not that you've been actually running your business from 0 to 3 years, really two. But if your business model is in that 0 to 2 years, because I know people that's had a business for 5 years, but when we break down their back end, their
Mm-hmm.
business is only built up to a 0 to 2 year business. So that's what I specialize in, people who are just getting started. If you've been in business 10 years and you try to transition and franchise and all that stuff, I could help you with that because those are things that I have did, transitioning out of a business, but that's not my passion. That's not where I want to be at. So for my clients, once I get you going, once we start your business, you get rolling. People like, oh, Brandy, can you help me with marketing? Nah, I cannot. But I can refer you to somebody that is a
Mm-hmm.
marketing, expert. They can give you those marketing needs. And that's one thing. And I think Tiffany kind of posted about it, people charging an arm and a leg for something they've barely been doing. That is something I see all the time.
Oh
All
God, yeah.
You can't charge $200 for something and you've been doing it for 3 months and you ain't got no portfolio. You ain't really got no traction or experience for me to feel like that I should pay you that much money. So I totally agree with that. And finding so for me, I like to stay in my lane, and it helps because when you stay in your lane, it gives you the opportunity to give business to people who know what they're doing and who want to do it. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
it's all about. And I think that's something that's really missing in the African American community is that fear of missing out. People will take on a job that they know or take on a task that they know is not in their purpose just for $1. Then you under deliver. And now we got another person that's saying that's why I don't work with black businesses. Where really that ain't really your
Absolutely.
lane. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
shouldn't be doing that. You should have transitioned them to another, preferably African American entrepreneur who does that. So
And
I
one thing I would say is because we actually have a session tomorrow. Um, One thing I can say, Tiffany, in finding a business mentor, there are definite resources out there that don't charge an arm and leg because as an entrepreneur, especially a small business startup, you do not have a ton of funds. I believe wholeheartedly in investing in ourselves, but we also have to invest within our budget. And even as someone who started up so many businesses, I got so much stuff going on because I have about 4 businesses, but I got a ton of hobbies, a ton of hobbies. Um, One of the biggest things for me was reaching out for help, and I actually have a session with Brandy on tomorrow because I need to work out and work through my business to make sure that it's lucrative, to make sure that I am going through the motions the way I need to with entire evaluation pretty much. And so, but I definitely get it. Trust me, I know one time I think I paid about $200 for a mentor, and I swear to God, something told me to go to YouTube, and I got recycled information from YouTube, and I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna chuck that $200 up and write that off as some. But I'll never, I'll be more careful in vetting people. You gotta vet people. If they can't give you numbers, if they can't give you breakdown, they can't give you testimonials, if they can't give you hard facts of how they've been a business mentor, how long they've been in business, who they, not really who they helped, but how they've helped and what their lane is, then, keep finding until you find somebody that's within your budget. But I will definitely recommend Brandy. I think Brandy, she has something for everyone, and she can definitely help get you in the right direction.
I appreciate that vetting. I definitely do. I definitely do. And um same like Ty said earlier, consulting was actually a hobby for me. Like being in business and being at the time being so young, because I'm only 32 now. So I started my first business, my mobile massage business, at 21. So being one of the first people in my group to actually start a business and to actually be able to transition out of a full-time job into my business, it opened the
Mm-hmm.
door to a lot of questions. Like every day people was inboxing me, DM, hey Brandy, how you do a business? How'd you do this? Can you help me? And I was giving out free information. Then one of my good friends slash semi mentor, she was like, Brandy, you need to charge for this. Like you giving out, and I was like, nah, I was like, I just want to help people. She was
Mm-hmm.
like, but you're giving out valuable information that's benefiting people. So I was like, all right, I'm a charge. But my goal is I'm not charging. I charge to make sure that whoever I'm working with is taking it serious. Because when you invest your own money into something, you're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
miss that meeting. If I say I'm gonna give you a free consultation and you like, you know what, my show about to come on at 7, but I'm supposed to meet it with Brandy at 7. But you know what? It's cool, it's free. I ain't even gonna trip about it. But if you didn't paid your money for that session, that show gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to catch that thing on Hulu later because you didn't spend your money. So for me, when picking my prices, I made sure that I chose prices that were affordable enough for new entrepreneurs, but enough to where you gonna take it serious. In addition, one of the things I love to do is payment plans. I'm a payment plan group. Like I love it. Like if I can break it up into payments, I'm gonna break it up into payments. And I love to offer that to my clients as well. So any service that you get from me that's over $50 for the most part, it's going to be broken down into a 50% deposit, 50% later, just because I know how it is to struggle at the beginning, and your coins, every dollar matters. So, Tiffany, if you are looking for somebody, I would love to be of assistance. I have 30-minute sessions as low as $40, and I guarantee you that $40 will be everything that you need to go ahead and get started and get rolling. And yes, I got you. I will drop that in the chat for you. And we lost Ty, but she will probably hop back in. So I'm gonna keep this thing rolling just because this is a topic of discussion that I love. And when Ty, up there she goes, she's back in here. Oh, Ty, I can't see you. Try to go out and come back in. Like it's not showing you on the screen. Okay, so moving forward. So what we want to do as we prepare to transition out is talk about some tips that you can do to transition. There she go.
Hey, that's what happens when you got too many. That's what happens when you got too many Wi-Fi connections.
It's the fact that you come back on eating the Twizzlers though. A whole snack.
Oh, it's not.
Um,
I like Twizzlers.
so
I
what
will
we'll
say
do,
this.
you said
I
what?
do
Go ahead.
have. So I do have brainstorming sessions, and those brainstorming sessions are limited to 6 women, 6 to 8. You come into the studio. Everybody comes in with 2 topics that they need help with, and the whole idea of that session is not to reinvent the wheel, but to go around like a round table for about an hour and share resources. So I share resources like Brandy. I share resources like, different resources that we have locally. And so that way you'll have a place where you can come and say, okay, I got all of these resources I can go to. And It's just a place of good energy. You know, we come for business. We come for some good laughs. We come comfortable. You don't have to come dressed up because I'm not. I will come in some bedroom shoes in a minute. And it's just a place of comfort. It's a place of trust and a place where small business owners, you don't have to be a lady, but small business owners can kind of come in. I do about once, try to do it like once or twice a month. And so far it's been really successful, but we share resources and we kind of break some, I guess you can say some habits. Like you got some people who will come in that have never asked for help before. Mm-hmm. So I can refer them to Brandy and be like, listen, you can go to Brandy and she can further help you XYZ. Or you can go to this resource that's local and they can help with this. We have another resource, the Black Economic Leadership League. We have the Gravity Center. We have the Small Business Center. But, sometimes you need that one-on-one face-to-face. And it's only an hour. I don't play about nobody's time, and I don't play about mine. So it's in the evening time. It's for an hour. So just be on the lookout on my page. I drop it, and it really does get filled up pretty quickly. But no more than about 8 people. We come chill. We talk business and our needs. And we start there and get comfortable in talking about taking our businesses to the next level. Because I have a lot of people who come in this room where they have hobbies. And they're looking at how to transition that hobby into a business.
I love it. I love it. So I do have Ty's information. If you are looking to connect with her, I have her Instagram listed at curvy_nerdy_girl. Stay connected with her. Also find her on Facebook, Tynetta Moore. I'll go back so you can kind of catch her name. Add her on your Facebook so that way you will have the ability to see when she drops her open sessions, her networking sessions, you'll be able to get one of those 8 select seats. So, Ty, what we're going to do as we transition kind of towards the end of today is let's talk about some of the tips that you would give hobbyists that are looking to transition their hobby into a real business.
So the first tip, again, have a plan. You got to have a business plan. And business plans are very different these days. They're not 30 pages long.
Nope.
I would say usually I see about 8, if that. You can also do a 1-pager. You need to identify who you are, your purpose, your mission. What are your goals for the first year? What are your goals for the second year? What are your goals for the third year? Gotta have a plan. In that plan, you gotta have a budget. How are you gonna pay for all of this? I also, if you are a hobbyist and somebody that does business credit, as a hobbyist, you can be a sole proprietor. So therefore you can build business credit and you can but you have to have that in your plan of transition. Got to have a plan first. So that's number one. First foremost, you got to have a transition plan. Just like with a business, you got to have an exit plan. Nobody talks about an exit plan for your business. You got to think about how the heck I'm going to get out of this.
Baby, I'll be thinking about it every day.
Girl. How you going to transition? How you going to retire? Are you going to franchise it? Like, what's the plan? You got to have a plan. You got to have a business plan. And a lot of people skip over having a business plan. A business plan is your roadmap. I'm going to tell you the cutest thing. I do iKid. So iKid, Brandy had the pleasure of being I had the pleasure of having Brandy as one of the judges for the Kidpreneur competition, because we're trying to teach kids young, whether you have a business or a hobby, we're trying to teach them how to pitch that, how to talk about their business, how to start a business, how to determine whether the business is whether it's a hobby or a business. And so one of the girls, I thought it was a game. Her name is Gabby the Baker. Her mama's name is Daquita Marshall. And Gabby had this amazing board. I thought it was a game. It wasn't a game. It was her whole business plan. It was where she started, which was as a hobby. And it outlined where she was and then it outlined where she wanted to go. Gabby is what, 13?
Mm-hmm.
She had a plan, honey. She had an entire plan. You got to have a plan. You got to ask yourself basic questions. Then you got to also look at your audience, because as a hobbyist, you appeal to people that say, "Ooh, I like that," or impulse buying. We are natural impulse buyers.
Mm-hmm.
When we see something that we like, when we see something cute, when we see something holiday-ish, because most of the time you see a lot of businesses pop up when Black Friday,
Mm-hmm.
income tax time, holidays, like right now. And there's nothing wrong with it. You got people who do baskets for various occasions that are hobbyists. They're not business owners, but they're hobbyists, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they understand their audience, they understand their purpose for that time. But if they ever want to transition into the business, how are they going to survive outside of a holiday? What if
Mm-hmm.
it's like Tuesday in the middle of September? Who is your audience?
Ain't
With
nobody
no,
buying no baskets on Tuesday. Ain't nothing going on in September.
right,
Ain't
right.
nothing
So
going on.
you have to know that audience, and that becomes your roadmap. You gotta have a plan. So that's my biggest that is my biggest thing for people trying to determine if your hobby is actually a viable business, and your budget. How much do you need to make this product? How much do you need to sell this product for to make a profit? How do you not undercut yourself?
And I
So,
get that all the time. People, when I do a lot of consultations, people are really struggling with their pricing model. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like I got them certain people that's just so confident in what they're doing. They like, yeah, I'm doing flyers for $75. I'm like, okay, well, how much experience? Like we talked about earlier. They're like, yeah, I've been doing it for like 6 months.
mhm,
Baby, I ain't saying anything is wrong with Canva if it's something you're doing on your own. But if Canva is your only source of making flyers outside or doing any type of
mhm,
all graphic needs, if Canva is the only thing you're using, you got to expand. It's so many other different, more intricate programs that graphic designers are using to meet the needs of their audience. And you got to be able to tap into those things. Now, some of those things will be a little bit more expensive, but the quality of what you're going to be you having for your clients is going to match your price. So I totally agree with knowing how much you can charge. And you got to think about your time too. When people ask me about how to know how to charge, the first thing I tell them to do is break down your time. How long is it going to take you to do this task? So if we go back into graphic designing, let's say if you say, okay, it takes me 45 minutes to create, let's just say a cool hour. It takes me an hour to create one flyer. Okay, cool. What is your ideal? How much do you ideally want to make per hour? Okay, yeah, I just need about 25 an hour to kind of make it. Boom. I tell them whatever your base is, whatever you want to make, test, see what other people are charging. You want to test your competition, see what they're charging. Let's see if somebody that's been in the business charging 50. You want to make 25 an hour. I tell them pick a cool middle ground. All right, I'm charging $30 for flyers. Now you're making $5 more per hour than you were really originally going to pay yourself, but you're still $20 cheaper than your competition. So not only are you making more money than you planned, but you're
mhm,
also undercutting your competition. So now if somebody sees your work and somebody else's, and if the work is on the same level, you didn't gain you a new client and you're making a sufficient amount of money. So it's all about knowing when you're in the service industry, it's all about knowing what your time is worth. What is your time worth based on the quality of work that you're giving? If you have a product and you're trying to figure out how to charge your product, I always tell people to first write down the cost of how much it costs for you to create this product. For
mhm,
example, if you make candles, how much is a wick? How much is the container? How much is the top? How much is the wax? How much is the coloring? How much is the scent? Once you break all that down, all right, let's say if all of that, if you buy it in bulk, it's gonna cost you $5 per candle. All right, boom. We know it's $5. Now the next thing you want to do is figure out how much do you want to make per candle. All right, I ain't trying to hit nobody over the head, most candles, well, now candles are getting crazy. Like they like $25, $20 around there. But let's say the average candle is about $25. It costs me five to make it. I just want to make $5 per candle, and I want to sell 15 candles a week. Boom. Now you're charging $10 for your candle. You're
Mm-hmm.
$10 less than your competition. You want to make sure that your quality is there. So you want to make sure the scent is strong. You want to make sure your colors are nice. Make sure you choose a good container to put it in. Now you start selling your product. Now you have the ability to make your money back. And as your products get more known, as you see an increase, don't be afraid to take that price up. Like they said, price is going up. So let's say if you've been doing good, you've been selling good at $10. Year two, you might want to take it up to $11. Now you're making a $6 profit. And also not being afraid to increase on the economy. As you know, right now we basically in an almost mini recession on the real, but we in inflation. So with inflation, that means that the cost of materials increases. When the cost of materials increases, that means naturally for you to keep your profit level, you're going to have to increase your prices. So overall, I would say just being in tune and how much you want to make, knowing your competitors, and being in tune with the economy of what you can serve.
And again, it goes back to finances too. Don't jump out as without a plan of being an LLC. Ask yourself one thing: are you ready to pay taxes? Are you ready to pay taxes?
Maybe
South Carolina, South Carolina gives you 2 years to report taxes on your LLC before they close your business. They will close your business if you have not reported in 2 years. I talked to someone from the IRS back in not even a month or so ago. They closed in South Carolina. They closed thousands of accounts because they were just getting LLCs and they were still trying to figure it out. You can't figure it out and while you're trying to get an LLC. That's what your hobby is for. Your hobby is for figuring it out. Then once you figure it out and create a plan to transition into your business, then you can determine what business type. But South Carolina closed thousands because people were getting LLCs saying I started a business from either a hobby or just saying I started a business and never reported any taxes. Are you ready to pay taxes? Because that's a part of your budget.
Maybe big
When you
part.
get an LLC, it's time to pay taxes. When you spend $150 here, maybe $170, depending on your options, you got to report. And if you report, that's the same thing for a retail license. If you report zero on a retail license for 2 years, they will send you a letter and they will close it out. They will say, hey, and if you get somebody from the IRS that's really good, they'll be like, so be a sole proprietor until you figure it out. Do it as a hobby until you figure it out. Because being a hobbyist, you can be a sole proprietor until you figure it out. And then once you have a plan to transition into that business, that's just my 2 cents of it. I say figure it out first so that you're not spending money, you're not wasting resources, and you're not wasting time. Mm-hmm. Because, I love the entrepreneurship dream. I love it. I love it. I love it. Not everybody's ready to be an entrepreneur. Until you're
say it again, girl.
Everybody's not ready to be an entrepreneur. Every idea is not meant to launch. Like there's a ton of resources out there where you can try to figure out your product. You try to figure out where you want to go. I have a ton of stuff I got going on. That guess what? Not everything's a business. I have 4 things that's a business. Legitimately a business. 1 is an LLC. The rest of them are sole proprietorships. Why? Because they're not ready to transition into that LLC market. Mm-hmm. They're not ready yet. I don't have a plan for it to be ready yet. So I'm not wasting resources. I'm not wasting money. I'm not wasting time. I'm not wasting talent. I'm not wasting brain cells. I'm not burning out. Like you have to have a plan. You most definitely have to have a plan. And if you do not have a plan, like a plan is number one. I never knew how much a business plan was um was important until I started taking. We have some local classes here at the Gravity Center, and we also have some free local classes here with Bell, our Black Economic Leadership League. And I learned that that plan is everything. Even the what is it, SBDC, the Small Business Development Center at Winthrop here in Rock Hill. You got to have a plan. You got to be able to talk about your business. If you can't talk about your business and you are the master of pitches, what is a business pitch? Talking about your business, right? You got to talk about your business to investors, and you got to talk about it in what, under 6 minutes?
That's max. Usually it's 3 to 5.
3 to 5? Okay. And I'm pitching next Wednesday.
Yes, game time.
Oh, girl.
I love a good pitch. It's like being in the Super Bowl. My adrenaline get the rushing, baby, because I'm going for the gold every time.
But you have to be able to talk about your business. You got to have a plan. So there's nothing wrong with, I tell people, look up the different types of businesses there are. There's a sole proprietorship. There's a LLC. There's a LLP. There's a S corp. There's so many different types. If you fall in one of those categories, you're still a business. But you gotta be ready. And if you're not ready, it's okay to be a hobby. Like I said, I don't care if you make t-shirts, cups, whatever. South Carolina, and I'll send that link to you. South Carolina has it where, because they have a lot of vendor fairs and agriculture fairs. South Carolina has it where you can pay $20 to become the show that you're a crafter. That's what they call it. It's hobbyist / crafter. You can get a crafter's license. So if you make candles and you don't know if this is what you really want to do, but you want to get out and sell your candles outside of Facebook, because that's a part of marketing. Because as a hobbyist, you still got to market. I tell anybody, being a hobbyist is like pregame to your business. It's pregame. It's going to teach you a lot about yourself. It's going to teach you if this is what you really want to do. It's going to teach you, okay, let's, especially if you are a crafter, let's mix up this recipe. Okay, I see 4 other people doing candles. How can I make mine different? How can I name mine different? How can I be different? Use that as pregame. There's nothing wrong with pregame.
Ain't nothing wrong with pregame. Nothing. So, Ty, as we transition out, I want to go ahead and let you guys know our giveaway is coming up next. So for you guys that just hopped on, or for you guys that have made it this full hour, I definitely thank you for your support. So if you go to our website at www.betheentrepreneur.com, you subscribe, you will have the ability to get our straight to the market checklist. It's free, and it's just 8 easy steps that you can do to test your new business idea. People like to hop out with ideas before they test it. It sounds good to your boo. It sounds good to your family. It sounds good to your friends. Normally, these are the people that support you, but they are not the people who are going to buy from you.
Correct.
You got to make sure that your business is formulated and created and ready for people who are interested in what you're serving. So let's say if you create a business and you realize it's just no niche for it, and a niche is kind of like your special target market. There's nobody that's interested in. Don't be afraid to shut and go. I've seen people that's holding on to businesses that are not making money, and it gets to a certain point. Like, of course, you got to believe in your business, but if it's no interest, you got to just understand. It gets to a point in entrepreneurship where you got to make a decision. You either got to trash it because it's not working, and that's okay. It is okay. I've had business ideas that I thought was going to be a business. I'm like, man, trash it. Boom. Get out, jump off the boat before it sinks. There's nothing wrong with that. Then you have your other alternative where you can pivot. It's nothing wrong with pivoting. Okay, I know I got a good business idea. It's doing okay, but I'm missing something. What can I switch up to get a good audience? What can I switch up to reach my target market better? That's what you have to focus on. Having a business is all about providing a solution to a problem, to a specific target market. If you focus on that, you're going to make money because the target market is your need. People that Victoria's Secret sell bras, they always going to be in business with bras because women going to always need bras. So you know what I'm saying? Focus
But
on.
they also sell. They also sell an image.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
marketing. They're marketing. They
Mm-hmm.
sell an image. They sell an image. They sell a lifestyle. They
Yep.
sell. They sell sex appeal. They
Yep.
sell a lot of Fenty. Rihanna's line. She sells an image that everybody can buy.
Everybody can
Her
be beautiful. Everybody can
listen,
be sexy.
her models range from amputees to people with various skin conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can buy my product. Like she makes that so visible where you can identify. And I think as small business owners, there's some things that we take for granted is our marketing and our audience because we're so looking for our area to support us that our area is not the people that we're looking for. We're looking for people that's outside of our area. Our area will follow, and if they don't, that's okay. You have billions of other people in other markets that you have to speak to. Is this list like one of my what I call it? What my mama say? What my mama would say list?
What, Liz?
The list that you're gonna give away?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I got these. I like those questions because you know your mama tell you the truth.
Baby, my mama
Your
ain't never
grandma tell you
lied.
the truth.
Well, I ain't gonna
So
say she ain't never lied, but she gonna keep it 100 with me. Look,
right,
if
right.
nothing
So
else, she gonna keep it 100
my
with
mama
me.
don't know nothing about technology, but my grandma don't know nothing about technology. She can barely keep up with the password on her phone, but she will tell me the truth when it comes down to if something's not working or if something is not efficient.
This ain't working,
But
Ty.
listen, she be like, it ain't working. Nuh-uh, I'm not doing it.
And I love it. And you need those type of people around you. But as we transition out from today, I want to talk about how you can get your free 30-minute session with me and be the entrepreneur. During this 30-minute session, you have the ability to pick my brain about any business issue, barrier, startup wise that you have. I am here to support you. And all you have to do is go to our Facebook or our IG page, share this live on there, tag us in the post. The first person, when I finish this live in about 3.5 minutes, the first tag that I have, that person will get a inbox with the instructions on how to set up your free consultation. So you can feel a little bit about being an entrepreneur and kind of know what we do, but also so you can get that business assistance that you need to at least kind of get off the ground and get rolling. So if you have not, go ahead and share this post, tag us in it. You can do it to my personal, you can tag Brandy Fox or be the Entrepreneur Consulting Agency. And like I said, once I log off this live, the first person I see, you will be our winner. Some of our new services that we are now offering is our logo design services, business card design services, landing page creation. We also will be create. I also create investor ready business plans. So if you are an entrepreneur and you like, I need a business plan, but I don't know how to do it or I don't have time to do it, I can create your business plan for you. It will be investor ready. It includes all areas of a business plan, including your financials. And just so you know, I have funded
Hold
three.
on, say that again. Did
I'm
you say
sorry,
including financials?
including financials. That
Okay,
includes
let
your
me tell you, if you have not done a business plan, let me tell you the financial part is like my
baby.
kryptonite. Listen, I'm telling you, it is it's worth letting somebody who know how to do it. I have done multiple business plans and I'm great. I get to the financials and I'm like, yeah, you know
Yeah.
what?
I'm gonna put this to the
So
side.
right. I'm gonna put this to the side real quick. I'm like, the financial part, woo wee. Like
It's
you gotta
aggravating.
be real with yourself.
Yep. Baby, it's humbling. The financials is a humbling part of your business plan. Like everything sounds good. I'm gonna save the world one dolphin at a time. Then you get down to breaking down how much it's gonna cost to save them dolphins. You like, you know what? I might
Right.
go to turtles instead because these dolphins
No,
are a
I'll be
little
like, can I get one
expensive.
fin? Can I get one fin? One fin. That's it.
Just
We
a
just go.
blowhole, baby. Just a blowhole.
That's it. That's it. We're not even go. We can't even afford that.
The whole dolphin. No.
No. You know what? We just bought a movie.
Yeah. Just buy Flipper on DVD, baby.
Right. We just
That's what
gonna
we
as a
invest
matter. Well,
in.
no, we ain't gonna buy the movie. We just gonna rent it on Amazon or something. Like it's that financial part. Woo. Because like when you're doing pitching and you're pitching your business, they don't want to hear about the cutesy stuff about your business. They want to hear, okay, so what's the return on my investment?
When I'm gonna get it back?
When I'm gonna get it back? How much you gonna make again? How much you make in a year? What's your 3-year plan? What's your 5-year plan? Like, they don't want to hear about, oh, I make the best food in the world and okay. They be like, oh, okay,
Okay.
congratulations. They be like, thank you, but where's the money? Show
Where
me the
is
money. Again, like I said, it's all about the business, then the Benjamins, but you gotta have them Benjamins on that paper.
baby? They got to be on there. And like I said, if you're somebody who don't know how to do it, if you're struggling, you don't want to do it, we do those for you. And all of our services outside of the business card design, we only require a 50% deposit. So you pay $75. We'll get your business plan started and done. We'll show you a preview of it. You pay your remaining balance. You get your full business plan. We also do 5-page starter websites. So if you are ready for your website, you've had a landing page, or you're ready to hop straight into a website, then that's something that we can do for you as well. And lastly, a new website promo video. So one of the things I like talking to my clients about is getting your website out there. It's so many websites, it's easy to get lost. So what we do is we create a quick 50-second website video demo, and basically it shows all areas of your business, your services, your homepage, how to contact you, and it's so cute and I love it. And it's something, what I tell my clients to do is, once you get that website video, what you want to do is you want to boost it. You want to boost it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're putting that video in front of your target market. And if you're somebody who wants to learn more about Facebook boosting, Facebook ads, please make sure you follow my page, Be the Entrepreneur, because I will be doing a Facebook ads and boosting training next month in April. And I'm super excited about it. If y'all know how much money you could save on marketing, you would be amazed. Like, I'm going to let y'all know, and I'm going to show it to you when I do the training. But right now, for my mobile massage business, I spend about $150 on Facebook ads. With that $150 per month, I get 18,000 in engagement, 18,000 viewers of my page, all that kind of stuff every month, every 30 days. And I will show you guys these numbers. And that's literally for $150. I know people who are spending that just on flyers and are not getting any type of return. So Facebook ads is that hidden gem. All you have to do is know what type of post to use, how to boost it, where to boost it. And I will be teaching that all next month. So make sure you stay tuned to Be the Entrepreneur. And lastly, if you are an entrepreneur who is looking to start your business, but you don't have the time to do any of it, that is something that we do as well. We do full business startup. And what you can expect from me is now at this time, I have 11 years of entrepreneur experience. I own 4 profitable brands. I am the author of 8 startup business ebooks, and 91% of my clients start their business within 60 days. And our package includes our starter package for 400. That's just some of our basic that we include: your consultation, logo, business card, email, domain setup, and landing page. So basically, it's kind of that starter package just to get you out there as a new business. I only require 200 down to get started. Your remaining 200 is done after the services are completed. Our pro package is 650. That includes everything from our basic package, but then you also get a full business plan creation with your financials. We do your social media setup, and we set up your social media graphics, including like your Facebook banners, all those type of things, branding that you need. And you will also get our part 1 through 3 website designers training video. So basically it shows you how to make small changes on your Wix website. I specialize in Wix. So with Wix, I show you how to maintain. So that way you won't have to spend money if you need to change an event, if you want to add a picture, if you want to change some information on your page. You will have a how-to video on how to do that. So that way you won't have to pay a graphic designer every time you want small changes made. And lastly, we have our premium package. That includes everything from the previous package, but you actually get a 60-minute business consultation. So we really sit down, get into your business. In addition, we give you a 5-page starter website creation and installation. We do your website SEO optimization. If you don't know what SEO is, that's search engine optimization. And that's basically how your business shows up if somebody types you in Google. I will also be doing a training on SEO in May. So make sure you stay tuned, making sure that your website is SEO ready. It makes a difference. That way, if you guys go online right now and type in mobile massage Charlotte, Pamper Us Mobile Massage Service, which is my business, will be the first business that comes up. So you want to make sure that your website is optimized to be able to pop up. You get your business plan creation, including your financials, and you get your website promo video, and of course your training. So basically, depending on your budget and kind of what you've done and what you need done, Be the Entrepreneur is your one-stop shop for your business needs. You can start small with just a 30-minute consultation for $40. Or if you know you're ready to go ahead and make that investment, you can do our 950 package, split it up into 2 payments, and get your whole business started for you. And it takes 14 days, so 10 business days. Lastly, we want you guys to stay connected. If you are not, well, number one, I hope that you enjoyed today's show. Ty, it was so great having you on here today, girl. You know our energy always right anyway. So
Absolutely.
I already knew
Anytime.
it. Yeah. But if you are an entrepreneur, definitely make sure that you follow Ty, especially if you're in that Charlotte Rock Hill area. Y'all should be out here in the community. We're about to partner together to do some business training. So I'm that, and she has some things
Yes.
going on. Get into one of her networking groups so you can go ahead and get bounce some ideas off people. Sometimes you got to change your circle, and she is really big on circle changing. So get connected with her. But if you are somebody that's looking for additional services, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We have our other training videos available on our YouTube channel. You can also email us or hop on the website. Everything you need to start your business, we provide it, and we provide it affordably. Ty, before we exit off today, did you have anything that you wanted to share with the people?
Just anything is possible. Just follow your dream. Your dream does not have to be rushed. It does not have to fall in the categories of the social norms, but I'm big on having a plan. Have a plan, have a plan, have a plan. Even if it's something as simple as, oh, I might want to do this. Do your research first too. Research within 100-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
Within 100-mile radius, what businesses are like yours? We talk about business competition and we think that business competition is bad. Business competition is great.
Right.
So you can look and see what they have to offer and how you can be different doing the same thing. Research, have a plan, don't get discouraged, and don't feel like you have to follow the trend that everybody else go, because everybody has to follow their own path. Just be smart about the path that you follow. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to say no. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to kind of offset some things that's not in your lane.
Yep.
Or, and don't be afraid to stop something that is just, if something's is stressing you out, not giving you joy, it's not giving you peace, and it's nothing but a headache, then guess what? it's not in the plan. Let it go. Let it go, or revisit. Let it go, and then you can revisit later. Maybe you can say, okay, let me try something different. So, just be smart.
Amen.
Take your time.
Take your time. Take your time. But with that, I want to thank you guys again for joining us for our Talk It Out session. I hope that we met your needs for today as a startup entrepreneur. If you love today's session, please do not hesitate to share it on your page. We want to get this information out. And please stay tuned to my page, Be the Entrepreneur Consulting Agency, for our upcoming trainings, including our Facebook ad training. Also, you'll have the opportunity to check out our next Talk It Out session, which will be in April. We'll be posting that. We want you guys to stay engaged. But outside of that, I want to give you guys the biggest entrepreneur love support that I have. And I will see you guys next month.
Bye.
Bye.